How's it going, guys? Long time no speak. At least in this venue. So, it looks like Israel is going to another election. And, I really don't think it matters who wins, if anybody does win. I really don't think it matters. Because for me, it's bittersweet, guys. For me, it's really bittersweet. You have people, even on the right-wing side of the spectrum, who did many, many horrible things and said many, 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 many horrible things during the time of you-know-what. We saw their true colors. There's probably one person in the entire Knesset who is decent. Really, one person. He's in Likud and he's an Ethiopian guy. Everyone else are, my friend likes to call them the Dregs. So I want to read to you guys about Dregs. I don't know if you know what dregs are. The necessity of dregs. This is the dictionary definition. Dregs are the remnants of a liquid left in a container together with any sediment or grounds. The most worthless part or parts of something. You guys hear the term dregs of society. These are the people who are ruling Israel today, the dregs, Just an expression taken from, I guess, kind of a liquor terminology, if you will. So I want to read to you guys something that Rav Kook wrote about dregs and wine and the necessity of dregs. He wrote this literally 100 years ago, before the State of Israel was founded. I think it was just before San Remo. He wrote this in 1920. So it was after the Balfour Declaration and before San Remo. And 28 years before the State of Israel was founded. 47 years before we came back to Jerusalem. And 65 years before Oslo. Excuse me. And 102 years ago. So here it goes. He writes the following, Rav Kook. Just as it is impossible to have wine without dregs, so too it is impossible for a world to not have wicked people. And just as the dregs preserve the wine and keep it, so too the coarse will of the wicked cause a standing for flowing of the life of the Benonim. Benonim are, in Hasidut it means intermediate ones, people like you and me. We have some bad parts, we have some good parts, we're in the middle. And tzaddikim, righteous ones. When the dregs decrease, and the wine stands without the dregs, it is in danger of ruination and spoilage. Because dregs are, the preservatives. The exile weakened the life force of the nation, and our dregs were greatly decreased, until there was a danger for the existence of the nation due to its lack of coarse life that is bound with animalism and the ground, and it's being submerged in materialism. So basically what he's saying is that it's almost like our dregs were supposed to be being in the land, working the land, kind of being challenged by the land, toiling and all that kind of stuff. And instead we were in wherever we were, Europe, America now, different places, and it's relatively easier. We're making money, we have nice cars, nice houses, and we're submerged in Gashmias and materialism, right? So he goes on to say, the existence in exile is a crushed existence, and this weakened existence, you guys ever see that meme where it's like, hard times make strong men, that whole thing. Here, I'll read it to you. Just want to get it right. tell you exactly what it says. Yeah, hard times create strong men create good times, good times create weak men create hard times, and then the cycle goes on, right? So, yeah, it's basically what it's been. And you see, it says the existence in exile is crushed existence, and this weakened existence, which is more absence than existence, was possible to continue for a period of time without the dregs as was necessary. So Hashem basically allowed this to continue despite the fact that we are weak and into materialism, right? But with the elongated time, the strength is already gone. It's been too much time. Withered away, and the inherent existence claims its role. Guys, you have to remember, he wrote this 100 years ago. Think where we were back then in relation to what he's saying. Think where we are now. It's even worse, right? We're even weaker. The return to Israel, to its land, for its inherent existence is a necessary event, and its existence creates dregs, right? So we're coming back to Israel, we're creating dregs, right? We're back in the land. We're working the land. But, listen to this. What are these dregs? Part of what these dregs are, the bearers of wickedness and the chutzpah of the ikved of Mashiach, or iksa of Mashiach, the heels of Mashiach, that will startle all hearts to memory. These are the murkier sides of, through which clear and joyful existence can happen through them, and the end of the process is this: the sinking of the dregs to the bottom of the barrel, the lowering of the forces of evil into the depths of life, and then all dangerous and painful sides of them will be neutralized. So what he's saying is, when we come back to the land, we're going to have the dregs again, but then you have the wicked dregs that they're at the top, and then slowly they're lowering and lowering and lowering. Guys, I mean, if you see who founded the state of Israel, a bunch of communists, right? Even though we've gone back to the land and a lot of amazing things happen in high tech and all these things, and going back to Jerusalem, but you still have these dregs, you still have these Erev Rav, right? These commies who claim to be with Torah and with Jewish history and Jewish culture and tradition and whatever, and pride and whatever it is, but it's dregs, right? So now we went down and down, and then we got Oslo, and then we got like vilifying Rav Maya Kahana, people like Kahana, and all these other people, down and down and down and down, and now we have these 5 elections, and Shmovid and the behavior during Shmovid, even the right-wing people, to the point where we have the people in Israel who are the most kind of, I guess, fighting all this are the left-wing people. Some of my friends in Israel are leftists who are fighting, as opposed to the people in America who are right-wing who are fighting this stuff against it. So, yeah, guys, I mean, and you see the dregs, and now it's just going to go down and down and down and down. We'll be able to see through this process. Basically, they're going to be neutralized, right? And it's all part of the Messianic, the Mashiach process. I don't want to use the word Messianic, because in English it refers to Messianic Jews. I don't know if you guys heard, they just accused, I made kind of a dark joke, they just accused, somebody spread a rumor that Lapid's wife was a Christian or a Messianic Jew. And I said, I basically said, I was actually disappointed to find out that she wasn't, because maybe she could convince her husband to love Israel, right? So some people accuse me of like, I don't know, talking like Trump or whatever it is, because he said that, the Jews in America have to be more like evangelicals. I mean, it's true. It's sad. It's very sad, and it's very true. I wish it wasn't the case, right? So yeah, guys, so now we are basically, I think, a little over 2 hours left, 2 hours and 50 minutes left in the polls in Israel. To be honest with you, I guess, guys, I mean, for me, it doesn't really matter. It's just interesting to see where this thing would go. Just more of a point of entertainment. It's going to be very interesting. They may have to get rid of Bibi if they can't form a coalition. Maybe they'll have to use somebody else. I don't know. But just understand, guys, this whole thing that you're seeing with all the wickedness and all these things and all the challenges and all the, Rav Kook used to say, our foibles are great because our consolations are even greater, right? The Jewish people. So all these things are a necessary part of the Mashiach process, and that's basically it. People are complaining how evil these people are and this and that, but it's something that is necessary, and it's. And guys, and Rav Kook is one of those people, he was one of those people who saw things, he was really a modern day prophet. He saw things way in advance, and he made the most amazing kind of analogies and conclusions and kind of hidushim, kind of new Torah ideas. I mean, the guy was a Kabbalist, really. He was a, as you can call it. I don't want to use the word clairvoyant because it kind of even cheapens what this is, which is deeper than just clairvoyance. Like people you go to see these psychics, it's not like that. It's something else. It's something on a deeper level, and it's just incredible that this is what he wrote 100 years ago, and then we see it before our eyes. We've seen it before our eyes in the last, 30 years, 40 years, whatever it is. And, I guess it should give us not only comfort, but just make us understand that we're living in a very, very special time. And, these people are going to sink to the bottom on their own, just like what's happening in America, just like what's happening all over the world. These people, they're trying and trying and trying. They're fighting and fighting, but they're not going to win. As we know, in history, we always know with evil, it's not a question of is it going to lose. It's going to lose. The question is, how many people, how much damage does it do before that happens, right? How many people suffer and Chas v'Shalom before that happens, right? That's really what we're fighting. We know they're going to lose. We know that. So, yeah, B'ezrat Hashem. Everything should turn out good. We should get clarity more than anything else. And yeah, guys, don't worry about the dregs. The dregs are very necessary. All right, I'll talk to you soon.